Should your morning cup of coffee soon be brewed with sunshine? It sounds like something straight out of the future, but coffee roasters are already experimenting with solar power as a cleaner way to roast beans.
Yeah, traditionally roasting coffee requires a lot of heat and a lot of energy. But some companies are now using concentrated solar technology to dramatically reduce emissions while still producing the same rich flavor coffee lovers expect. With demand for coffee continuing to grow around the world, some believe this could be the next big innovation for a more sustainable cup.
Oh, and this is for me too. Speaking of your daily cup, another coffee headline is getting people talking. The American Heart Association says drinking up to five cups of coffee a day is generally safe for most adults and may even be linked to a lower risk of heart disease, stroke, heart failure, and type 2 diabetes.
Whoa, I wasn't expecting that. Pittsburgh constantly ranks in the top 10 cities for coffee lovers in the country. So we asked you on social media how many cups you drink each day. Now, the majority of you say that you drink 2 to 3 cups of coffee each day.
I love this. So what should we actually make of all of this? Dr. Natalie Gentile is here to break down what the research really says and whether it's time to feel better about that extra refill. This makes me feel good because I feel like as I'm getting older, I have a cutoff point so that I can sleep.
Yes.
So for me, it's staying awake during the day, but making sure I can actually fall asleep.
That you can wake up in the morning too.
Yes, that too.
Right. So let's break down what the research actually said in this, because headlines can be much different from digging into the study.
Certainly. So there's some information out now that tells us that up to 5 cups, now I should note 8-ounce cups, okay?
Not the big guy.
Yes, exactly, of coffee is beneficial from a heart protective perspective.
Okay.
And that's aiming for around 400 milligrams of caffeine, okay? And that's really exciting, but let's peel it back a little bit because these studies are not what are called randomized control trials. So they're not our gold standard studies.
Right.
But there is this association with improved heart health when you're drinking that much coffee or less, okay?
Or
so
less.
up to those 5 8-ounce cups.
Okay.
All right. So it mentions the 5 8-ounce cups. So does that mean like more is better? So what if you have like 10? Are you, I don't know, can you run a marathon?
No.
Well, okay.
You might have a heart attack if you're
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's really up to that 5, and really the optimal range is that 2 to 4 8-ounce cups.
But there's even more to this, more to the science, because apparently you have to use a filter or something. So talk about this and what that does.
I was hoping we would get to this. So I think this is the more exciting part of this. When we have filtered coffee, it's pulling out this certain compound that can be increasing your LDL levels. So LDL levels are your bad cholesterol, if you've seen them on your cholesterol panel. And when we filter our coffee, it takes out that compound, and we can have lower LDL levels when drinking filtered coffee.
So this is like a paper filter. Is that what we're talking about?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. So I thought that was really exciting because that's one thing that I can immediately act on with a patient. Hey, how are you brewing your coffee if you're drinking coffee? If this is something we can adjust, we can bring down those LDL levels. Those are the levels that are associated with heart disease risk.
So interesting, because we have a coffee pot at home and it has a built-in filter, but it doesn't. We don't have to put the paper filters in.
Yeah.
We can if we want to, and now I want to.
Now you want to.
Now I want to.
Exactly.
Yeah. I know when I was growing up, my mom, she would never, I mean, even as a young adult, she would stay away from coffee. It'll stain your teeth. I mean, from a more of a medical perspective, are there certain people who should stay away from caffeine?
I think a first takeaway from all of this information is if you weren't a coffee drinker before, this doesn't mean you should become one now, right? So it doesn't mean you switch to that. It's really for current coffee drinkers, this is information to know. People who have really bad anxiety, really amped up high heart rates already, insomnia, uncontrolled high blood pressure, people with really bad arrhythmias in their heart, meaning that it beats a funny way, stay away from caffeine. It can make those things worse.
Oh, and insomnia, that's my arch nemesis. So I never understand or how people do it, like how they have a dessert coffee in the evening. I would be up for days.
Oh, yeah.
I could never make it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if that's you, you don't need to add in coffee into your regimen.
Yeah. See, you know what's so interesting about that is if I don't have to work the next day, I can have an evening cup of coffee.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it is.
It's not for me.
For me, it's psychological. It's the I have to work tomorrow. I shouldn't have a cup of coffee. That's it.
Yeah.
Did they get into anything about the types of coffee? Because there's French roast and medium roast and all these different. Did it even look into any of that kind of thing?
So a couple takeaways there. First of all, we're talking about black coffee.
Okay.
So it's not the coffee with the cream and sugar.
Right.
Okay. This study is talking about black coffee benefits. When you start to add in those things, that's what's called a confounder, meaning that it's just going to muddy the waters of these results.
Yeah.
So black coffee, Cold brew coffee has significantly higher caffeine amounts. So we're not talking about just that 8 ounces there then. We're talking about the caffeine amount. That's important here, okay? And then decaf has lower caffeine amounts, so it might be more cups.
But there's still caffeine in decaf. I tell people that all the time. What about energy drinks? They're everywhere.
So again, back to that black coffee thing. What's in energy drinks? A whole lot of other stuff.
Right.
So it's not just the caffeine, it's the sugar and other types of compounds that could actually undo the benefits of the black coffee they're talking about.
So, and again, are we talking about coffee or caffeine with this study?
We're talking about caffeine.
Okay,
Primarily the caffeine. But also, let's remember that in coffee beans, there are other compounds that are beneficial, right? Like plant compounds that are beneficial for our body and antioxidants. So because this is not one of those randomized control trials, there are probably a lot of factors that play here that give us those benefits.
I had no idea about the LDLs and this compound that you mentioned, and that a filter could do anything.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people use K-cups. I don't even know if that is sufficient.
Right, and I don't think it's as sufficient as just the coffee filter.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then remember with K-cups, there's also the plastic.
Oh, yeah.
So then we're going into
The
microplastics land. Oh, it's always something.
Well, for someone like me who just enjoys maybe a cup, 2 at the most a day, is there anything that I should change with my coffee regimen?
If you're already using the filter, I wouldn't change anything. That's like the sweet spot, those 2 cups of coffee.
Okay.
Keep it up.
Keep it up.
Okay, we're good. I need another cup right now.
Yeah, right now.
We should get around.
We should. Thanks, Dr. Gentili. Well, we can learn more about Direct Care Physicians of Pittsburgh and Rebel Wellness on our website, kdka.com/talkpittsburgh.
Still to come on the show, KDK's Barry Pintar is standing by in the newsroom with the stories you don't want to miss tonight on the KDK Evening News.